everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel and I go by Rachel Ray on the internet, and today I have some cross stitch and knitting to share with you, so please join me. I have a finished object, not fully finished, but it will be fully finished next time, I promise. And I am so happy about that. I'm very nearly finished with another project of mine, and that's a knitting project that we haven't seen in a long time on this channel. And I'm going to try to be brief today because there is so much that I could talk about right now. But as you know, I did not make an update on Saturday. And I'll explain all of that at the end of this video. How about that? So we'll just skip right into all of the good stuff. Last time that I filmed a Flosstube, I gave away 2 patterns. The first one was Quirky Quaker Cauldron. This is by Darling and Whimsy Designs. I got this in a box, and so it's the original pattern that came with the box. And this is going to Stacy. Congratulations, Stacy. I've already sent you an email to get your mailing address. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. And then I also gave away Pickle Barrel Designs 8 Crazy Nights, and the winner of this is Laura. Laura, thank you so much for commenting, and I hope that you enjoy, I hope that both of you enjoy stitching these patterns. Thank you so much for watching my Flosstube. Today I don't have anything to give away, unfortunately. It's just there's so much going on, but I appreciate all of you who have in the past used my Ko-Fi Buy Me a Coffee link down below to help with the cost of shipping and everything. You know, I live in Ireland, so sometimes it could be a little expensive, but I don't mind. But thank you. I just want to say thank you because sometimes I don't say thank you enough, so thank you so much. I really appreciate it. All right, let's get into the cross stitch. Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to share all the lovely things with you today. The first is my finish. Look at it. Okay, so I'm going to lay it out nice so that you can see properly. But I completed Midnight Way by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I started this on August the 17th or something like that, 2020. And now it is finished. This is on the called for fabric 28 count Whimsy by Picture This Plus. I purchased a kit. It has DMC and the black. They gave you like a special, an option between Picture This Plus or Picture This Plus. Petite Treasure Braid or Etoile, and I used Etoile. It came in the kit. I think my favorite part of this whole pattern has got to be the grumpy cat in the window with the fish. My least favorite part of this pattern was doing the bottom. I saved the border to last, and I'm sorry I did that. I should have done it first. It was actually really painful. I don't like changing colors a whole awful lot, but yeah. She is finished. All the back stitching is done and everything. So I purchased a picture frame today, actually, before filming this video. I just didn't want... I'll tell you about the filming situation later on, yeah? But I didn't have the ability to finish it before this video, so you'll see it fully, completely finished in a frame next time, which I'm very excited to show you. I can't believe I have a finish, finally. This has been on my rotation for a long time, so it feels good. Is there anything else that I need to say about this? Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. You can buy this pattern and you can still buy the kit. If you live in the UK, you can actually buy the whole kit online at the homemakery.co.uk. That's where I purchased mine from. I'm sure there are other shops that sell kits as well. But it is super duper cute. We are getting ready to go on vacation, so my brain is all over the place, running 1,000 miles an hour. I focused on that piece this week. On the weekend, I got a new start. Another pattern released, and it is Stiatch. I'm going to open the bag. This is my amazing science bag from Monkey and Mouse. You might know Ashley. Ashley also made me another bag. You can find Ashley's shop, monkey_and_mouse on Instagram and on Etsy. But these are nice floppy bags. So if you like the kind of pillowcase style, then these are for you. Stiatch. What is Stiatch? Stiatch is, how do I put this? Stiatch is a contemporary cross-stitch challenge, teamwork centered challenge stitch along. It's not an ordinary stitch along. This is a competitive stitch along. There are prizes, there are judges. You can do it individually or you can do it as a team, and I choose to do it on a team because my friend Jessie is a team captain, and yeah, I get roped into things. I love you, Jessie. But if you don't like modern cross stitch, contemporary cross stitch, if you don't like the cursey words, then it's not for you. And that's all I can really say about that. It's a lot of snark. It's a lot of snark. And as you know, I'm a snarky person and I enjoy the cursey words every once in a while. So this is pattern 1 complete. It will not stay saying this word. Just FYI, it won't. But it is funny and we can giggle about it, okay? So what I'm stitching on. I am stitching on an opalescent piece of Cosmos by Bee Stitch Me. This is 32 count, which is my favorite count. 32 count in an eighth of a yard of fabric. And I am the most, I don't know what I was thinking. Okay. So I'm using Sulky, here it is, Sulky floss to grid my fabric. And if you're curious about how to grid, I have a really terrible YouTube video tutorial on how to grid. You could give it some love, but I really should remake it with less difficult to see fabrics. But I only grid on difficult to see fabrics, so it is for someone, right? So I've gridded, or as they say in Stiatch, I grod my fabric, because what is the past tense of gridded? It just doesn't sound right. I grod my fabric with Sulky, but I used iridescent. Why did I do this? I used iridescent Sulky with an opalescent fabric. That's just who I am. Anyway, it worked. I know where my stitches are. I also left it on here so that I can continue to grid if I need to. Hopefully we will build off of this. But I started here with ta, which is like thanks in advance. Then that was near the center. I went up, stitched the T, and I went across and I did the whole word. And then I came over, I did the corners up here and this, and then I ended with the 4 points there. And while I was stitching this, it was Saturday, and I'm going to be completely honest with you, I had a total overwhelm. I don't want to call it a mental breakdown. It wasn't a mental breakdown. I had a whole complete overwhelm moment, and I could not get out of it. I've been in a funk for a few days since, actually, but I went for a walk and I took some pictures for my team. So this is where we are at the moment. The pattern 1 is complete. The next drop is on Friday. So I'll show you next week what pattern 2 looks like. And if I have time, I will pop in my contribution photo to my team. They asked us to take a picture underwater that wasn't in a bathtub. My palette is Chaos. The original plan was that I was going to diamond paint this. I will still diamond paint it, but I'm waiting to get some colors. I'm going to use the original palette, literally the colors that are called for in the original palette, or the first palette, I should say, on this Diamond Dots Freestyle canvas. You can buy this in Michael's or probably Joann's. I don't know in the States. I don't live there. But you can buy this online. If you look up Diamond Dots Blank Canvas, it'll probably come up where you are. And I'm using spare drills and then drills that friends are sending me. I did buy some extras from one of my favorite drill sellers, and then I'm waiting for that to come in, and I will start that as soon as my drills come. But because I knew that that was going to take some time, I wanted to start right away. And it is Stiatch, so we probably should actually stitch it as well. So I had to pick a fabric, and I had to pick my colors. So I picked palette 2, which was like this softer pastel palette. And while I was digging through my fabric stash, which I think I made a video on how I organize my fabrics, I put them on the comic book boards, which was not my idea. It was from the Steel City Stitchers. And I was like fingering through all of my fabrics, and I saw this one, and I was just like, you know what? This fabric makes me happy. I'm going to do it on this. But when I put the original palette of flosses on this fabric, it didn't work. So I grabbed some specialty flosses from my stash that I'm trying to use up. Like I have this yellow from a box. I have, this is, I think it's Live and Die LA. It's a green. So those are matching the original palette a little bit, but not really. Do you know, they're in the same color family, but they're not the same color. Then I have light blue, which is basically white. Then I had to change the colors that I had originally. So I have like, this is dark blue, according to the original palette. This is light purple, and DMC 34 is dark purple, according to the palette. So that's what I'm using. I've just pulled flosses from my stash, and I was like, I'm going to make it work because it has to pop off of this fabric. So my flosses have to be a lot lighter and brighter, because otherwise they're just going to melt into the fabric, right? Please ignore, I took the dog for a WALK at the BEACH before I got here, and this is the only opportunity I have to film, so I hope that you'll look past my messiness and complexion and all of that, and we'll try again next week for a bougie makeup riddled Rachel. So that is my Stiatch, which was so fun. I had it done in an hour. I watched, I've been watching Halloween movies, and I've been watching movies that I haven't watched before. Usually I stick with movies that I watch every year, the same exact movies every single year. It's like, it's comforting, right? But this year I've been like, you know what? No, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to go ahead and watch all the things that I haven't seen before. So I watched a movie from the early 2000s, and it was good. It was good. Anyway. Cheers. That used to be my favorite drink of all time. It's still good. It's still good. Haul for cross stitch. did I buy anything? I thought I bought something, but that requires me to just quickly go into my Gmail and see. I'm pretty sure Peppermint Purple is coming out with a Christmas stitch along. Oh, I do have something to share with you. Where did I put it? I might have to pause for a minute, but my Wild Violet cross stitch. There's so many wonderful designers, but there's one that I need to talk about. Jingle Ball. Have you heard of it? Jingle Ball. Lindy Stitches and a whole bunch of other designers. I heard it from Lindy Stitches first, from Stephanie. But a whole bunch of designers have gotten together to do this really cool virtual thing. Basically, it's like, imagine that we have a Saturday and a Sunday at a little convention center. There's going to be classes and there's going to be vendors. And you're going to, with your ticket, with your entry ticket to this virtual event, you get access to all the classes and you get access to exclusive patterns only available during that event from those designers, and they will not be released elsewhere. So it's not like Nashville Needlework Market or Expo. This is just like a one-off thingy, right? I hope they do it more often, because there's classes like, I'm pretty sure there is, now that I'm talking about it, I better, Jingle Ball. Definitely check your email if you get notifications or newsletters from any of them. Hosted by the 12 Designers of Christmas. That's so cute. This is December 2nd and 3rd. And if you go to www.thejingleball.net, there's a whole website. It says exclusive patterns, needlework classes, exclusive ornament collection, meet and greets with designers, holiday shopping, and music and entertainment. I'll just read them off. The Blue Flower, Erica Michaels, Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, Hands-On Design, Heartstring Samplery, Lindy Stitches, Ink Circles, Noteworthy Needle, Satsuma Street, Summer House Stitch Works, Tiny Modernist, and Teresa Kogut. Do I need to say more? Yeah, sorry. I was just like, huh? But there's classes and everything else. Let me go get the other thing that I want to talk about, because it just arrived in the mail. Okay, so really, really fun. I just got this package and I haven't opened it yet. This chair is so squeaky. I apologize. But anyway, it is comfortable enough. Open, please. I received my book from Evertote, and I will not spoil myself, but I will be looking for, get out of here, I will be looking for, oh no, okay, I was gonna, maybe they'll tell us, anyway, okay, look. Evertote, Roxy, Flosco, and Modern Folk Embroidery 2022 Holiday Countdown Booklet Chart enclosed. No peeking until December 1st. I don't know what kind of fabric to stitch this on. Caroline, if you see this video, please. Can we have a hint? I'm starting to get worried. I'm starting to get a little anxious. I believe my original intention was to do this as a band. It's a band sampler. So I was gonna just do it, you know, but what size fabric do I need? What size is the chart? Can I open this yet? It says no peeking till December 1st. Anyway, other people have gotten their boxes. They made boxes as well. If you're not following, Off the Grid Needle Arts is Caroline's personal YouTube channel where she just talks about her stitching. And then there is Notes from the Workshop. which is the, I'll tag them below, which is the shop YouTube channel. But anyway, that was wind. We keep getting storms, by the way. I'll get into that later. Anyway. I'm excited. My booklet came, so I'm ready for December 1st. Cross stitching. Super duper excited. It's going to be great. All right. Let's talk knitting for a minute. I've got a little bit of haul to show you first, and then I'm going to get into the thing. But also, there was something that I purchased that's digital, and since I have this open, I'm going to go ahead and get the details. Okay. Helen Stewart Designs has created a booklet for the countdown season, and it's called Knit Vent 2022. You know how we get all these mini skein things. If you're following my my vlogoween videos, which you can actually see them daily on Patreon. It doesn't matter what level you're subscribed to, you'll see them daily that way. But I do make them available at the end of the week to everyone. All of these mini skeins can be used to create really cool things, but sometimes we're like, if there aren't patterns made specifically for mini skeins, it can be hard to know what to do. And I think I showed you last time that I have a massive bag of mini skeins right next to me, but I also have an entire closet full of yarn, and a lot of that is mini skeins. Well, I did it again. One of my favorite dyers actually went out of business, and I needed to support her. So this is from Savannah of So Livy Dyes Yarn, based in Colorado. Please follow her shop on Etsy. When she does dye yarn, she'll be putting it on Etsy, but she's no longer going to have the business going as a full-time business. Look. This mini skein set is so pretty. So, okay, confession, maybe I'm showing my age, but I don't know what Umbrella Academy is. I think it's a TV show. But I saw these colors and I was just like, whoa, like this one is amazing. All of them are amazing, but this mini skein set, everything was half off. So I had to. And they're beautiful. It also came with a stitch marker with 2 hands, and it says hello, goodbye. And then I also purchased from her 2 skeins of this gorgeous 75/25 merino nylon, and it's called Pictures of Sunsets, and I just love it. I love it so much. Isn't it beautiful? Those colors, they're not colors that I'm normally drawn to, but there were 2 skeins in the shop, and I was like, yep, can't just buy one, you need 2 to make something decent, halfway decent. Okay. All right, so that is that, right, for haul. But, and the Knit Vent thing, so Knit Vent is a booklet, and it will have several, if I open this up, it's going to, really, I have to sign in. Why me? Open. Info sheet. Here we go. I'm sorry I'm not sharing my screen and everything. There are 6 patterns in this booklet, and it only cost 10 or 11 pounds. It's half off until maybe the 27th of October. Not 100% sure, but it is on sale right now, so please go and check it out. Please go pick it up if you are interested in mini skein stuff. You know the Habitation throw that I'm making, the baby blanket that I'm making? That pattern originally came from a Knit Vent book. So this is your opportunity. If you have lots of mini skeins like me and you want to purchase the book, do it now while it's on sale. I am not sponsored, by the way. Nothing I've said today is sponsored at all, so this is just me being me. It says, over the 5 weeks of KnitVent, you will receive 6 secret patterns, which will automatically appear in your Ravelry library. Ravelry. It's so hard for me to say that. Oh, speaking of, I need to talk to you about another app that I discovered. So you can join, there's a Curious Handmade Ravelry group, which is Helen Stewart's group on Ravelry. You can use the hashtags KnitVent2022 and Curious Handmade to share what you're doing with everyone else that's doing it. And it says you can use your scraps, you can use whatever you want. You could use the patterns that, or the mini skeins that you are opening at that time, to make it. So I have a whole set of Ruby and Roses that I would like to use up. I don't know if I'm going to do it as it's going along or if I'll wait until the end, because the mystery knitting thing has kind of gotten on my nerves lately. But anyway, let me show you another project and then I'm going to go back and tell you about Ribbler. Don't let me forget. So the next project I suppose I'll show you is, where's my other, uh-oh. Did it fall? Nope. I put stuff on top, of course. And there's dog fur over everything. So if you see Luna fur, that's just the way it is in this house right now. It is fall. It is shedding season. All right. I'll hold it this way first so you can see how much progress I made. This needle minder is where I was last update. And I am going to continue making these rows of the solid color until I have reached 7, I believe. I did not get a very an overwhelming response from anyone about how many I should do in the very middle of this project. This is a baby blanket, so I don't want it to get too much bigger, but I figure after this row, maybe it'll be 8 repeats. After this row, I'm going to start decreasing. So then that will be as wide as it will be. And it is large enough for mom, but it's mostly like a baby toddler blanket size. And once it's blocked, it will be a little bit bigger. So I got to keep that in mind as well. This is the Habitation throw by Helen Stewart. And I am using up scraps. So I've got scraps here. These are from my Slipstravaganza, the pink and the purple. I've got another scrap of gray in there as well, which I thought just added a little pop of a different color, and I really like it. Am I showing you the, yeah, that's right. Going forward, I wouldn't change colors so infrequently. You can really tell when you join. You can tell when you join on the right side for sure, but also when you have something this small. Yeah, it looks a bit weird, but you know what? It's gonna stay. It's fine. It's a baby blanket, right? The baby will not mind. I met the baby, by the way. I can't show you a picture, but I met the baby this week. She's so little. She's so little. She's only 5 weeks old now. So I will be able to finish this by the time I see mom again. And yeah. That is that one. And I can move my marker. Boop. There we go. I like to do that while I'm on screen because otherwise I will forget. In this little bag, which was in with the baby blanket, is a second one. I don't know if I showed you this, but I am Also knitting a second Habitation throw for myself, and this will be just for my scraps. So I've got lots of scraps left. Oh my word, let's talk about scraps in a second. But I got lots of scraps, and I just want to throw them all into a blanket just to have a blanket. And this will be kind of like one of those projects that I take with me when I gotta go somewhere, like when I need to go to the doctor's office or something like that. Or I'm trying to think of reasons why I wouldn't be home. But if I were to go somewhere, I would take this because it's portable and it is burned into my brain. So I know the pattern inside out. It's not complicated. And that is that. Let's quickly talk about scraps. So, you might remember, oh my god, all the fur, y'all. Ugh. Because these are couch projects, they have lots and lots of fur on them. It's done. This is my current bag o' scraps. I actually have a lot more scraps than that, because I did a complete countdown mini skein scarf back in 2020, 2021. And so I have lots and lots and lots of scraps from that and from other projects that I had to like take out. The project that I am finishing as we speak, I'm just moving the needles down so they don't fall off, is the cat vent cowl. Yay! Look at it. So it's completely knitted. All of it is knitted. It is knit. Completely. All of it. However, there it is. I was like, where's the stitch marker? This is where, so right, I have all this loose yarn because I'm doing something. Right here, this band right here, right after the cat ears, if you can see them, right after the cat ears is where I was last time. And I did all of this braid up here. I did most of that yesterday. And this right here, right above the braid, is a join called the Kitchener stitch. And this is how you actually join socks together and stuff. the toes and stuff of socks. Kitchener stitch for a cowl is going to take a very, very long time. So I hope that this will be a finished object, like a completely finished FFO'd, blocked, dried, and wearable item by next week. That's what I hope for. But can I turn it this way for you? Here's the other side. Again, I'm really sorry about all the fur, but this project is completely made of scraps. It is not, it was planned very poorly, but it was also just using what I had in my scrap pile. So I'm quite proud about how it looks, even though it's chaos. But you know me, and I don't mind chaos. I really like color. So as long as it is beautiful, to me, that's all I care about, right? And I think it's really cool. So if you want to see the cat's right side up, there was an option to twist it so that it had, they called it the Mobius or something like that. It's where you twist a cowl before you join it together so that it is twisted. I didn't do that because I'm lazy. And let me tell you why. So I had the top row of knitting, this row right here is the finished, finished row where I stopped. And it would have required me to put these stitches on waste yarn and then block it and then put it back on the needles. And I had already spent literally 2 hours trying to pick up the provisional cast on that I made with, I made a provisional cast on with crochet. And I think I knit into it wrong because it took me 2 whole hours to pick up these stitches. So I wasn't about to take them off when I realized I could make this into a twisted cowl. I think it's going to look just fine. It'll be just fine the way that it is, like that. That's cute. It is important because the inside looks like this. Yeah, that's a lot of color work, huh? It is cool though. It's cool to see it, but I didn't want it to catch on anything, especially since it's going to be around my neck. We don't want that. So I am doing, like I said, a Kitchener join, and that is what it looks like. So when you stretch it out, just looks like it was always there. That band, that first band, is one of my favorites, by the way, with the X's on it. Very pretty. Those are just slip stitches. There's one more thing. So that's what you can use. You can, this is, sorry, brain. This is the Cat Vent Cowl by An-Kitan Biag. I've talked about this a lot. Follow her on Instagram. She makes really cool stuff. And she has like cat sweaters that you could make. Really cute stuff with cats, especially. This one seemed like it was the easiest. It's not very easy. But also, if I had... Originally, I was going to use the Ruby and Roses for this, and then I realized I needed more contrast between colors, and no offense, but the Ruby and Roses does not have a lot of contrast between the colors. So this particular project with lots and lots of detail and color work was not the right project for that advent, but there will be one. Lastly, gosh, so much yarn. This. So much yarn, so much fur. Did I show this last time? I think I only showed the yarn. This is the Northeasterly. Oh my goodness, come on. Sorry. This is the Northeasterly scarf. This is on Ravelry. I will link the pattern below. And this is another color work scarf, but it's just 2 colors, and it's alpaca yarn. And I talked about the alpaca yarn last time. I don't know if I showed you or not. I don't know if this marker is from where we were last time. But anyway, I started it. I'm almost finished with pattern 1. The cool thing about this particular yarn is that it is super duper stretchy. So when we block this, it will be very big. I really like it. And yeah, I'm following literal patterns. Instead of written instructions, I'm following the pattern chart. That was the word that I was looking for. I'm following the chart and getting used to reading charts. I really like it. I enjoy it because it has all of the elements that I like in knitting, which is just enough to keep me thinking, with parts where I don't have to think at all, which is the solid, and then colors to keep me interested. So I fear for my future projects. I have a few projects that are kitted up, like the Insomniac poncho using my Irish fairy tale yarn, and I feel like it might not have enough to keep me interested. So we'll see. Anyway, okay. My beach hair is getting to be too much for me now. But anyway, so where I was going with what I was talking about earlier, if you need to drop off, that's fine, but I'll give you a little life update. I suffer from panic attacks. And I talk about this openly. I have clinical depression and stuff, and sometimes it gets really overwhelming. I'm also I get really overstimulated sometimes, and I just had a little bit of an overstimulated day on Saturday. And what that really felt like, and what that meant was that my husband was coming in and out of our house, but in and out with podcasts blaring, dogs barking, doors opening and closing. It felt like there was nowhere I could go where it was quiet. And I had just spent a whole week alone during the day where I had plenty of time to film and record. And then it just dawned on me. I mean, I used to film Flosstube in the middle of the week for a reason. And this is the reason. It is almost 2:00. He's going to be coming home shortly. And I'm able to quietly film, and I'm not stressed out about it. And it was just too much. So I will not be uploading on Saturdays for a while. Not for the foreseeable future. I will be uploading on Wednesday, and then my personal updates will be on Saturday because it just makes more sense for our schedule. And even though I appreciate like the interaction that I get on my Flosstube when I am uploading it on the weekend, it would mean so much to me if you would still check in with me on Flosstube, even if it's during the weekdays. You could always save it to a watch later playlist. If you don't know how to do that, I can send you a video on how to do that. But there's just a little button in the corner, basically. You just press the little plus button in the corner and it'll add it to a watch later playlist. And then you can watch it whenever you have time. But I was putting it up on the weekend because that's when a lot of people have time to watch. But I don't have time to film it on the weekdays or weekends. And I need to readjust so that I'm a much happier person. You wouldn't want an angry, on edge Rachel making videos for you, would you? So let's talk about plans. I had plans. I did not meet those plans. I wanted to work on Dracula, which is in that little project bag. I wanted to work on Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. That did not happen. The knitting bug has hit hard. So I would like to stitch on something that is Halloween related, but we will see. I'm not going to make plans. I'm not going to have intentions this week. I'm going to see where the wind blows, so to speak, because I'm so close to a finish on this cowl that I think I'm going to focus on that for a little bit and, just go from there. So I do appreciate you checking in on me and watching this video, and I hope that you'll tell me what you are up to, what you're working on right now. Are you coming over to Twitch and checking out the live stream? I'll be live tomorrow, which is Thursday the 20th at 11 a.m. UK time. So if you want to join us at any time, you're more than welcome. But I will be live from then, and I usually go live for like 5 hours. So it'll be a fun day if you want to come and hang out. I imagine that there will be knitting or stitching involved. So that is it. That is that. I will see you all next week, next Wednesday, for another update, and I'll let you see all the things that I got done. And yeah, thanks for being here. I hope that you have a wonderful day and a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you soon on my next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.